All right, we're going to teach you how to be a New South Wales land tax ninja. If you're a property investor or considering becoming a property investor, we're going to show you A to Z all about land tax in 10 minutes. Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Billy Drury.
The property doctor, Mike Novak, with 30 years experience. We're talking about land tax this morning, the most significant cost to a property provider, other than interest rates.
Creeps up on you. It creeps up on you. And you know what? If you're good at it, you're going to minimize a lot of money. I'm talking maybe $250,000 you're going to save over a course of 10 years. But if you're bad at it, you're going to get punished. Really, really punished.
Yeah, this is interesting. So it affects cash flow. It's based on the land value, not the property value. And there has been bracket creep in the last 2 years.
Big time. I think to unpack, like I was at a lunch yesterday with some friends, and some people don't know what it is. So just to unpack what it is, the UCV, the unencumbered value, is effectively the land value that the government puts annually on your property. Now, the reason the government annually puts this on your property is because it's a moving target. The value, it's generally going up all the time. So you, as a property owner, whether you're an investor or an owner occupier, you'll get a letter from the Valuer General of New South Wales saying your value as of this day is this.
Yep. And then what happens?
When you own property over a certain value, we call it a threshold, or the government calls it a threshold. When you own property over a certain threshold, they will charge you every year 1.6% on what's over the threshold. So a working example is if your property is worth $1.6 million and that's your land value of your property in Narrowena in Northern Beaches, then, and it's an investment property, this doesn't apply to owner occupied properties, it's only investment properties, then that 600 grand will be taxed in that year at a rate of 1.6%, which I think is going to be about $9,000 or $10,000 you're going to have to cut a check to the government that this year for on that property. The next year it will be more.
Yeah, okay. So where do you want to start? Should we show the last 10 years or should we show a working example?
Let's show a working example.
Okay. So this is a really relevant topic and it will apply to the average mum and dad. I think even more so if you're acquiring property through your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, you get to the point where you're trying to hold an asset and you move away from the family home and go rent it out. This will apply to you.
Okay, so the first thing to get your attention is if you can own effectively 3 units and pay no land tax every single year, or you can own one house of the same value of 3 units and have to cut a check of 10 grand every year. Do you want to explain how that works in here?
Yeah, I can do. Let me just bring up that photo in a little bit of a more zoomed in. So yeah, that's exactly right. So example 1, that's on the left-hand side, is the purchase of a house. Now the purchase price, $2.3 million. The land value, maybe 1.7 million. The New South Wales threshold is 1,075,000. So the land tax payable is 1.7 million minus the mil 75. You times that by 1.6%, and that gives you $10,000 a year. That's your land tax bill. And we were talking about it off air. There's no notice for this bill, not like a strata levy where you get 3 months notice and it sort of scheduled. This comes in pretty much one hit.
Bam.
Hits you between the eyes. Example 2 is 3 apartments. Say you own them in DY, down the road from Narrowena, 5 minutes drive. Purchase price 750,000. The land value there 300,000. Below that threshold, you could own 3 properties. You'd pay no land tax.
Okay. So you can have 2.3 of house and you got 10 grand a year land tax. You can have 2.2, 2.3 of units and have 0 land tax. Watch your land tax, guys. Watch your land tax.
Yeah, might seem obvious, but if you're wondering how that could be the case, owning the same amount of gross value between 2 different asset classes, because with apartment blocks, obviously you're dividing that land value by the number of lots, so the entitlement is smaller.
Oh, good point. Good point. So if the land value is, say, $3 million on the unit block, then you divide that 3 million. Say if there's 10 units of equal entitlement, then you divide it by 10 units. You're left with a 300 grand bill.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now we're going to get dirty.
We're going to show you where you can find your own.
Okay, let's do that first. That's not the dirty bit, but let's do the clean bit first. Okay, so if you want to have a look, say you're looking to buy an investment property and you are curious as to what the land tax threshold will be, I would guess that you're going to ask a real estate agent, and they're not going to know what the number is. This is how you can search for the number of the land tax of any house in New South Wales and any unit in New South Wales. Over to you, Billy Bob.
First of all, we've applied the link there, so you can copy and paste this out of the comments. That'll take you straight to what we're about to show you on the share screen.
Yep.
So copy and paste this link, put it into your web browser, Google, Safari, wherever you want, and follow the next step.
If you just tuned in, we're going to make you land tax ninjas in this session, and off you go, Billy.
Okay, so hit that link. That'll take you here.
Yes.
Now back to you. It's a tennis match.
Looks really boring. Okay, hit property address.
Where am I looking?
Hyperlink blue, dead center of the screen. Second link on the middle of the screen. Bingo. Okay,
Yep.
let's do Narrowena.
All right, let me move off the camera.
Let's do NIMBY. Typical street in Narrowena, typical suburb, Northern Beaches. NIMBEY. Let's do 42.
And I'm not a robot. Perform the search.
You are not a robot. Okay, there's the blue, the numbers in the blue there. Hit that one. Tell it you're not a robot again.
And this valuing year, 1st of July 2024.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, great. Hit that.
Yep.
I wonder how much has changed in 5 years, this property. There's your land tax, guys. That's how you search it. How much is it?
So we've got...
Here's your number.
The net land value is there.
1.58.
1.58.
Okay, so typical block of land, house Narrowena, like entry-level house is probably 2 to 2.2, and the typical land value for Narrowena is 1.6. So go back to my working example. This cat's going to come up with 10 grand a year of land tax, this property, and the property, that's $200 a week, Billy. Now, if you go over and buy another house, you're actually paying you're not getting a threshold applied. So guys and girls, we've just shown you how to look up any land tax on any property. You don't have to own the property. You can look up your next door neighbour's land tax. That's how you look up the land tax in any house or any unit. Do you want to do a unit as well, just to show what that looks like?
Yeah, I'd love to. Give me a sec.
Let's do / new search. Let's go property address, second link. Let's go. Let's go. Have you got a DI address?
Yep. I can do. Let's choose a lucky number above our apartment block. 502 822.
Yep. It's what I wrote.
Oh yeah.
So we look at this is how to identify. If you just tune in, guys, this is how to identify land tax on any property in New South Wales. It's exploded. Our friends in government have really escalated these costs. It's exploded, and we're going to show you what the difference is between a house and a unit on land tax. The house value, according to the land value general of Australia, 1.6 for a house. Now, show me, Billy. Show me. What are you doing? 822.
Yeah, but it's it doesn't like the building number. Property not found.
Okay, let's go 4 at 38 Beach Street, Curl. Maybe
We're
not.
gonna go to Moss. We're gonna go to Mossman.
Probably not the best example, Billy. That's a block of 3. I
Okay.
would choose a larger block as an average for maybe if you can go block 4 at 38 Beach Street. It's a block of 12. So this is important because the divisibility is over, that amount. 48, 38. Okay.
4 at 32.
4 at 38 Beach Street. So you're going to street number is 38. Is 38, Billy. 4 at 38 Beach Street.
There you go.
Okay, let's choose a unit in there, number 4. So you can see how many are in the building. Let's have a look at the land, the value up, what they put on the value. Okay, so it's $7 million for the value of the land. That's gone up a lot lately, I do have to say. And you divide that by 12 units, so that'll be probably about 400,000. It's my 400,000 per unit for a unit that's worth. Guess what? That unit's worth $2 million, by the way. So there's an example of a property worth 2 million. A house and a unit average, and the land value difference of 400,000 to $1.6 million. It's massive. So guys, what's really scary, and this is the biggest fundamental that change to a landlord's cost, is the thresholds over the last 10 years and how much they haven't changed. So what people don't know is our friends in government have now frozen the thresholds, which are now going to increase landlord costs about, on that example I've given today, about 30% a year more. So if you have a look at your thresholds that Billy's going to bring up, you're going to see that the last 10 years, when they actually put thresholds on the properties, they increase them.
They do. I'm gonna bring that share screen up for you. There you go.
Okay. So have a look at that. Can you zoom up on that, Bill?
A little bit. How's that?
So that's cool. So if you are below the threshold, you will pay no land tax. If you are above the threshold, you will pay land tax to the tune of 1.6%. So in the last 10 years, the threshold has changed from 482 to 1,075,000, but have a look at what has happened in the last 2 years. Why are so if the numbers go, if these values go up, that's good. That's your break that you have underneath that figure. You have a look at the last 2 years, no break, same figure. So even though the property values are going up, the government is no longer acknowledging that, and they have frozen those thresholds, so you will pay more tax as a landlord every year, land tax has now significantly, and the consideration of it, become more important.
Yeah, it applies to more people. Applies to a lot more people. There you go.
It's called bracket creep. It's happened with stamp duty, and people have been smashed with 4% stamp duty because the bracket did not creep any longer. Now you're going to be creeping over that bracket much more. Guys, the message from today is watch your bloody land tax. It's going out of control at the moment, straight out of your pocket into the government's.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you very much.
It's really scary. If you want to learn what we've told you today, 0460 111 send the word land tax, and we'll send you the calculations and the how to do what we've done today, so you yourself can search your own land tax on your investment properties, or you yourself can search land tax on any other property in New South Wales.
Yeah, brilliant. 0460 111. The word land tax.
And send the word land tax. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Thanks, Billy Bob.
Thank you.
Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.